So users spend more time on TikTok than any other app. This is daily time in-app in the United States, so about 38 minutes a day, 35 on Twitter, 31 on Facebook, 30 on Snap, 29 on Instagram. This is where it gets really crazy. So the actual average monthly hours spent per user, if you look at TikTok, about 26 hours a month is being spent in the app. Facebook's about 16, Instagram 7.9, WhatsApp 7.8. So more collectively than basically all of Facebook's ecosystem. And what's more interesting is the trend, right? Because that's what we care about. As a marketer, what I think all of us should be thinking about is, and this goes back to what Tom said earlier, is what you're doing today is not going to be the thing that's going to make you successful 5 years from now. Right? Like the thing that's making money today is not going to be the same thing making money 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. So I want to look at like, where's the growth happening? Where are things going like this, where I can be early? And to illustrate this, it was interesting. So a friend of mine and his incredible mentor, a guy named Rich Sheffrin, who's just a legendary early internet marketer. He's just one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. We talk on a regular basis. Said, hey, I want to run this idea by you. I've talked to a few guys, talked to Dice, and I talked to a few people, Neil Patel and Russell, and I ran this theory by him, this question. Said, like, all of your successes, where do they come from? Like, where were your biggest successes? Where do you make your most money? Where do you make your name? And he found that every single one of them, almost all of their money and almost all of their success came from cracking an ad channel, being one of the first people to a new ad channel, or cracking a new tactic, a new strategy, being one of the first people on an auto webinar, the first people to do a VSL, the first person to sell on Facebook Live, the first person to be on YouTube ads, the first person to be on Facebook ads, right? And so I was thinking about that. It's like, yeah, for me, it's the same thing. I happen to be very early on Facebook ads and made a lot of money and rode that wave. And then we have a big political business. We were one of the first people on Parler before they got shut down. We were doing $1 million a day on Parler. For a 2-week period of time, we were doing $1 million a day on Parler before they got shut down because of January 6th. And if it hadn't got shut down, it would have been another one of those moonshots, right? Because new platform, early growth. So when I think about my career and think about going forward, I'm like, the growth isn't there on Facebook anymore, okay? You're at this point in time where you're putting more effort in to get the same results or worse results. I want to be somewhere where I can put limited effort in and make maximum results, where there's this massive arbitrage on time input and what the kind of dollar output is. And over time, as a platform gets saturated, that kind of graph of ROI, reward, and time goes like this. And then eventually it switches. So you're putting more and more time in to get diminishing returns, right? So this is what I'm seeing with TikTok, is it is going like this, Facebook, Instagram are like this. And then they're going to do 11 billion in ad revenue this year, right? So they're going to do more in ad revenue this year than Snap and Twitter combined. They're about 1 point behind YouTube in the global percent of share of digital marketing spend. So about like 2.8%. YouTube's around 3.5%. They'll surpass that next year. In perspective, Facebook, Google's like 28, 24% each. So they're still not close there, but it's growing, right? So the whole point of today's talk is really about creative. And I had this whole long talk, and I could spend days with you guys talking about TikTok. It's a massive platform, right? It's like trying to teach somebody Facebook ads from day one. It's whenever I talk about TikTok with people, it's like the range of information is so massive because there's so many people that are just getting started or haven't even started yet. So it's like you've got to cover a lot of stuff in a very short period of time. So lately what I'm thinking about is like, what can I teach people that is the singular most important thing? And with TikTok, it is creative. This is like 95% of how well you're gonna do on this channel is ad creative. If you can't do this and you don't understand this, you will not be successful on the platform. It is not like Facebook. It is not like these ad channels back in the day where you could just throw up a stock image, a stock photo, really shitty ad copy, drive them to an offer that's trending and make a lot of money because you're good at the technical stuff. It doesn't work on this platform. So I want to go through a few stats here, and then we'll dive into some of the cool stuff in terms of how we do creative research, creative frameworks we're using, all kinds of cool stuff. And again, as I said before, guys, like just, you have a question, I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff, just yell it out, okay? 21-34 seconds. About a quarter of all top performing ads on the platform fall within this time range. A lot of this data you're gonna see is from our team at TikTok. We have an amazing team over there that we get a lot of data from, and also data from all of our ad accounts that we run. 99.29%, so basically 100%, of top performing ads are multiple scenes. So what does that mean? It means like when you look at a YouTube ad or a Facebook ad, a lot of them are straight shots. So it's a single straight shot to the camera of somebody talking, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's boring. It's not engaging. You're going to lose people on TikTok. TikTok needs multiple scenes. So if you use the app, you'll notice most content is quick, it's dynamic, it's 3-5 second cuts. Cut, cut, cut. Doesn't have to be totally different scenes. It could be you take a straight shot video, 1 minute to the camera, but you splice it up, you zoom in 2x, you zoom out 2x. So just zooming effects, little things like that, it keeps the kind of content dynamic, keeps it fluid, keeps people engaged and watching more. 5 to 60 seconds, this is the time frame you're working with, right? So if you're doing in-feed TikTok placement, min time is 5 seconds, max time is 60 seconds. If you're using Spark ads, we'll talk about what Spark ads are. You have some wiggle room here in terms of the length of time you can use. But if you're just creating an ad inside Ads Manager, 5 to 60 seconds. So you really need to be fast. You really need to get your message across very, very quickly. Sound, on. Okay, I never thought, like in a decade of media buying, I never once thought about sound. I never thought about it. It's like, sound is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, right? Most people on Facebook ads didn't even have sound on, right? It just wasn't a factor in it. With TikTok, sound is such a core part of the DNA of the app. You really, really need to think about it when you're creating your ad creative. And then 9x16. This is a cool one. And I like to use props and stuff. So I got like, I'm wearing like 3 mics right now, so it's awkward. I got these like ropes around me and stuff, hanging me in there. So like when you open TikTok, this is what's so cool about it, right? And sure most of you have TikTok, right? But if you don't, like you have 100% of screen real estate for that split second. That is such a unique thing when it comes to marketing. Every other app out there are distractions, right? You go over to YouTube, right? I look at a YouTube video and I'm in the feed. I have other things. There's a feed here, right? I click into a video. There's going to be videos. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be things that are happening all around the video, okay? So you really want to leverage the full 9x16 real estate. I see so many brands that are just taking a vertical video or taking a horizontal video or a 1x1 or a 4x5, throwing it in there, and they have all this blank space. What are you doing? First of all, it doesn't look native. People know that. And second of all, it's like you buy a 1 acre piece of land and you build on half of it. And you just let the other half just like waste away. Yeah.
With the sound update that they just did, is there a way that you can adjust it for like your voiceover at this point? Because it doesn't seem like you can adjust it anymore.
In terms of like adjusting after the fact?
Yeah, so like if I do a video of me talking and then I want to put a sound in the background but turn it down, did they take that feature away?
No, you can, I mean, it depends on what you want to do, right? So I think this gets like later in the videos, like how we edit and stuff, but we don't really like to do things in the app anyway because you're limited in what you can do. So most of our videos we shoot outside, we edit outside. If we want to use voiceovers and stuff, we can have more control over the audio. So I wouldn't recommend shooting inside the app anyway, because again, there's changes happening all the time. There's limitations what you can do in there. The app can crash and lose everything. So you're better off just shooting things outside of it, editing outside of it. I have some stuff that can, like ways you can pull fonts in to make it look really native. So let's cover this is boring stuff but important because a lot of people jump on the platform, throw some ads up, and right now Facebook is taking, not Facebook, I blame that on the phone going off that I got it wrong. So TikTok is taking the exact opposite approach of Facebook. When Facebook first launched back in the day, if anybody here was early on in the Facebook ad world, remember they were very loose with the rules. There was a lot of gray stuff happening on Facebook for a very long time. And then they've gotten stricter and stricter and stricter to the point now where they just ban you for no reason at all, right? For existing, right? With TikTok, they're doing the exact opposite. They're starting very, very strict, and they're gradually loosening. So their ad policies have loosened over the last 2.5 years. They've loosened pretty aggressively over the last 6 months. They've changed their crypto policy, they're changing their alcoholic beverage policy, but they're still pretty aggressive when it comes to ad rejections. So a few things. No cursing. So your best bet is like just not even do it, but if you do it, in an app like InShot or CapCut, you can do a bleep effect over it, so cut it out, right? No TikTok watermark. I see a lot of people make this mistake. They go into TikTok, they pull a video from the app they want to use from an influencer, they upload it. When you save the video from TikTok, it's got the watermark on it, right? So there's some apps we'll talk about that just, you can extract the video without the watermark. This is a lot of the stuff's ambiguous. It's loosely interpreted. So no content that be considered dangerous or encouraging dangerous behavior. And this could run the gamut of things like we've run ads for On It where they have BMX pros doing crazy tricks. they're like, no, it's not cool because somebody might see it and try to do a trick, and that's dangerous. Or we've had a big magnetic lash brand where one of the influencers did this cool magic trick where they did like a flame shot of their hand and turned into lashes, had fire in it, so you couldn't use that, right? So you gotta be kind of loose with it. It's this weird balance of like, I wanna be engaging and do something cool, but you can't be too crazy because then you might be dangerous and TikTok won't allow it to run as an ad. No blur out parts of the video. A lot of people think they're really smart, like I'm gonna pull one over on TikTok's algorithm and their reviewers by like blurring this thing out or cutting this out. The AI and the machine learning is really, really good. The image recognition tech, the video tech, the ability to read language inside the videos on your landing pages has gotten like terrifying how good it is, right? How good this tech is. So you don't want to try to pull one over on them. Custom identity ads need to match destination. Custom identity ads, basically, we'll talk about in a second. It's kind of the default ad you'll create in Ads Manager. And then no exaggerated claims, pretty similar to Facebook, right? You can't get in there and say, hey, make $1 million tomorrow, right? That's not gonna work. So don't copy and paste when it comes to your TikTok ads, right? Again, big mistake I see people make is they take their top Facebook creative, their top YouTube creative, and they just shove it in TikTok and run as a TikTok ad and it bombs, right? You need to think TikTok first. What is cool is that, what we found at least, is when we shoot TikTok first, that creative works really well across other channels. So we're able to take that creative, move it to Facebook, move it to Snap, move it to Twitter, Pinterest, other channels, and it performs really well there, and it lasts a lot longer because TikTok thinks fatigue very fast, but it's not a two-way street. So taking a Facebook ad, moving into TikTok doesn't work very well for us. So when we talk about the type of ads, right, we have custom identity and we have Spark ads. Those are really the two types of ads that are gonna be running there. So custom identity basically is, if you go into Ads Manager right now and you go to create an ad, this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna be able to set the actual ad page name at the ad level. So like Facebook, you need to have a page to link, right? So you can't run an ad on Facebook without a Facebook page linked to it. With TikTok, you don't need to have that. So you can basically at every single ad, you can put the name of your brand and the actual logo at the ad level, and you can just run these from your Ads Manager without ever needing a Facebook page, right? These are good because they're easy to set up, they're easy to run, you don't need to have an organic presence on the app. The outbound click-through rates are usually a lot higher. The main reason for that is because anywhere they click on that ad, right, so they click on the profile icon, they click on the profile name, all those areas that might usually take them to your profile page, takes them to your link. So there's a lot more points of clicks and kind of outbound clicks. The downside to that is the conversion rate could be lower because you're getting a lot of accidental clicks of people saying like, I wanted to go to that page, now I'm on a funnel, what am I doing here, right? What we do like to do is test here and we can move them to Spark ads. So we basically test really rapidly, then we can make them an actual TikTok, and then we can amplify them as a Spark ad. So Spark ads essentially are TikTok, they're equivalent to existing post IDs on Facebook. So essentially this is a live TikTok in the app organically, you're able to link to and then amplify, right? So the benefit of this is, one, you can run from influencers. So if you have influencers that are posting TikToks, you can now use this as your ad and it runs from the profile. So it looks really authentic, it looks really real. If they're verified, the blue check mark, you get the kind of benefit, that bonus kicker there of their authority. Another benefit is the stacked social proof. So you're gonna get those likes, comments, shares, all the social proof that comes, it gets centralized, right? Custom identity, each ad, even if it's the same video and same text, it's its own silo, right? With a Spark ad, it's one centralized post. If you run it across 30 ad groups, they all come back to the single ad. So you can get a lot more engagement, and that leads to kind of a little bonus hack there. So I think this is gonna be a big opportunity in the coming 6 to 12 months on TikTok, is the idea of kind of search arbitrage, right? So right now, Google's beginning to pull in TikToks into search results. Search inside of TikTok is becoming bigger. We're one of the 50 advertisers in their alpha program on search placement. So search is gonna become a placement now for ads, which is pretty cool. It basically, again, this is how crazy the AI is. Analyzes your ads, analyzes your landing pages, analyzes your targeting, and then intelligently suggests keywords and bids on keywords for you. You don't actually put keywords in there. We've done it for ClickFunnels. It's like 50 keywords so far. They've all been like really accurate. There hasn't been like a wrong keyword, which is pretty crazy. So there's more and more search that's happening on the app, more discovery that's happening on the app. When you run a Spark ad, you're getting more likes, you're getting more comments, you're getting more shares. And what happens is that it's pushing these posts up higher in rankings, because a lot of the rankings on search have to do with engagement on the content, right? It has to do with obviously all the social proof, all the social engagement, number of views, repeat views, average length, all the video metrics we look at, right? You're investing in moving that post up. So if I have, this is like a toy brand, for example, and let's say I create a TikTok, the hottest kids toy for boys that love dinosaurs, right? And then I run that as an ad for 2-3 weeks. And now it has 1 million views and it's got 40,000 likes, et cetera. And people go to search for fun kids toys or dinosaur toys. You're gonna show up really high in that search ranking. Even if I stop running ads, the social proof doesn't disappear. That TikTok lives on indefinitely with the social proof that you've built up by investing in it as an ad. So that's kind of like a bonus that you're getting if you're running Spark ads. Now when it comes to, and by the way guys, if you have any questions on that, let me know. Trends are everything, right? I talk about creative being everything. If you distill that a little further from what's everything for creative, it's trends. Yeah.
Max, on the last slide, so is the algorithm analyzing the audio as well for the search terms, or is it just the caption?
So it's definitely pulling in, so what is said in the video, the text that's overlaid inside the video, the description of the video that you're actually writing in there, all of that's being analyzed, all that's being factored into search and targeting and all that. And that's also how it's able to pull keyword suggestions for search placement. So yeah, it's eerily like advanced how good and how much data it's pulling out of content you're putting in there. So that's again why it's like, if you think like, I'm just gonna blur this little thing out, or I'm gonna slip this word in here, like it catches things. It might not catch them day one, but eventually it catches pretty much everything you put in there if you're trying to kind of skirt the rules. Yeah. So trends are really everything. When I think about like, what are the 3 biggest levers that I can pull when it comes to success on TikTok on the creative front, I have my opening hook, I have my opening text overlay, and I have trends. Those are like the 3 primary levers, right? It's like that first sentence, the first sentence you say in your TikTok is so important. Like if I were you guys, I'd be spending almost like 90-80% of my time on testing those first sentences. Those are critical. Then you have that text overlay at the top, right? That kind of big, bold text overlay. And just like a little kind of pro tip hack here. See how people mess this up when they're shooting their TikToks? When you're shooting a TikTok, when you're shooting for the platform, for an ad, for organic, don't shoot it so your head's at the top of the video. So ideally the way you'd frame it is your head, whoever's talking to the camera, is gonna be kind of center of the screen. That way it leaves enough area up here for you to put your text overlay, your initial kind of headline, and any captions. And then it leaves enough room down here so it's a clear view of the description you put in there and the call to action. What a lot of people are doing right now is they're taking those kind of trendy Instagram caption videos where the captions are down here. They're using them as TikTok ads, and they're terrible because you can't see the captions because they're overlaid by the description, by the call to action, by all the TikTok stuff. So now you can't read the captions, and you also can't read the ad description, and it's distracting. And it's kind of crazy how many big names are running TikTok ads right now, and just like clearly aren't watching their ads. Like clearly their agency's running shit, and like nobody's actually looking at how the ad looks. It's terrible. I have a folder on my TikTok account of like terrible ads. Every day I'm just saving stuff to it. And like if I know the guy, I'll reach out like, hey dude, like your agency's running this. Like this is terrible. Like this is what they're doing. So yeah, trends are everything. And when you think trends, one of the mistakes people make is they think Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, Miley Cyrus. It's got to be like a big popular song. That's part of it, right? Big trending songs. When you go to the homepage of TikTok, the big discover page, they're going to push the big stuff, the billions view hashtags. You're not going to stand out there. Well, first of all, there's 2 things. 1, you're not going to stand out there. And 2, you can't use that because it's copyrighted anyway. Again, another mistake I see that goes in my terrible ads is people running ads using copyrighted music. All day I see in the app. It's like, that was a pretty big brand or a decent D2C brand, and they're just using a Justin Bieber song. I know they didn't get the license to use Justin Bieber's whatever song in their ad, right? So either you're gonna get the ad rejected, potentially gonna get suspended, or worse, you're gonna get a friendly letter from a lawyer representing Ed Sheeran or Justin Bieber or Mariah Carey, which is what everybody during Christmas was using her Christmas songs. It's like, it's a bold move to use Mariah for your stuff. Yeah.
So is there, just for creatives, is there any validity to using original music? Creating credits for that, or should it all be music that's on their platform that you find, no matter how?
Yeah, so what it should be, it's a great question. So like, should I use original music? What type of music should I use? So the point of the trending sounds is it's not songs. What really is like blows up on TikTok, what the creators and the core user group is using is other users' audio. That's the real trends. So it's somebody in the app, it's some like mom with her daughter, says something crazy, and then people take that audio and they create videos mouthing it with text, how it relates to their life, how it relates to their problem. That's the trend. Like we have a whole database of these. That's all we do. And there's a link I can share with you guys because we created internally. We have a list of trends that we basically every week we're just adding. Here's the link to it. Here's how to use the sound. Here's how many videos it's got on it. But that's TikTok. It's taking a user sound, putting your own personal spin on it, and then sharing it to the world. And so when you think about trends, that's really the big trend. So you have like trending effects, but really it's trending sounds on a more of a peer-to-peer basis, not so much like musicians singing songs.
Max,
Yeah.
quick, so there's kind of a double-edged sword there. I'm curious to hear your thoughts because if you have your TikTok account, it's not business mode, you can't use certain trends. Or if it's in business mode, you can't use certain trends and sounds. So like your clients, people you coach, then you also can't use Spark ads, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't use Spark ads if you're not set up as a business account. So do you have all of like your brands you work with set up as like a business account? And then if so, how do you guys kind of address? Like,
No, I mean, you can 100%. So like, I'm just a creator on the app. I'm not a business account. We use my Spark ads all the time. So anybody can create an authorization for, so like if you go into the app right now, any of you guys, and you go to a post, right? There's a bottom right little 3 dots you can click on. On the bottom row, go to ad settings, ad authorization. You can authorize that post to be used as an ad. It gives you a code. You can then put that code into Ads Manager. So yeah, you don't have to be a business account to do that. I think being a business account on TikTok is like on the organic side is just like a bad idea for most people because you get limited reach. You have a lack of tool set. Like you don't get the full user experience.
So businesses, you don't do it as paramount to being able to use certain things.
No, I mean I think at this point with where TikTok is as a business, like there are not a lot of benefits to being like a business on the platform. Other than like, there are some things like if you're an e-com brand, like having product catalogs, live shopping, there are some things in there obviously for certain brands. But like if you're an info product business, if you're a coach, consultant, like I would 100% be just a creator and just keep a personal account, then switch over to a business account. And what you could also do is like, another way to use trending sounds, even if you can't pull them in the app, is to just play them. So have one device, have one phone, you're playing the sound, record on the DSLR, record on another phone, and then just upload it. People will recognize the sound. It might not be linked to it, it'll be a Spark ad, but you can do it as custom identity ad and still play into the trend. So study top performing ads. I'm gonna try to breeze through a lot. I know we have a lot of stuff. So this is just like, if you Google, there's a link to, it's a longer link that I can give to you as well, but if you just Google like TikTok ads library, the first result that comes up is this page. So basically, most ads on the platform, it's an opt-in process. So not everyone's opting into sharing their ads, but a lot of top ads from a lot of brands show up here. You can search by objective, you can search by industry, you can filter by reach, by views, and see what ads are being run by businesses. It's a useful tool. It's a good place to go if you're getting started. I still think there are so few brands that have actually figured out how to do well on the platform. A lot are still figuring it out. There's a few. There's like Dr. Squatch. They're crushing it. Dr. Squatch is spending over $100,000 a day on TikTok. They figured it out. So you'll see a lot of their ads on there. That's great. Morning Brew, another brand that's doing a really good job on the platform. So you'll find some winners in there, but a lot of stuff's also like, this is just terrible. Like, it's not great inspiration. You're better off looking in the app, and that's what we're gonna talk about next. This is actually a cool Chrome plugin. My friend Michael Sanchez, who's active in our community, is a really brilliant TikTok marketer, builds a lot of these Chrome extensions, and this allows you to download. So it's a Chrome extension. Talk Tools is the name of the brand if you search in Chrome. And it basically, see the little red box on top of the videos? It allows you to download them, which is really useful because if somebody stops running these ads, they no longer show up in the library. So a lot of people like save the link, they'll go back to it a week later, the ad's not running anymore. Because again, things fatigue so fast. So you're better off just download it, use the Dropbox link as your reference point.
What is the life of a TikTok ad right now?
It can be wildly short. So like, I'll put it this way, if we're getting like 2 solid weeks out of a piece of creative, we're very happy. We have stuff that runs 5-7 days and then starts tapering off, which sounds overwhelming, but there's a lot of cool things you can do in terms of we have an approach for how we treat creative as modular, a whole strategy we'll talk about in just a second. Yeah.
So for a company like Dr. Squatch, spending $100,000 a day, are they just cycling new content?
It's all creative. Yeah, they're just, yeah. Anybody spending like 20K plus a day on the platform has rapidly tested creative. And I'm going to breeze through this because I spent a lot of time in the beginning talking about how much I hate Facebook and less talking about the actual useful shit. So what we'll do is I'm going to breeze through a lot of stuff. I'll be around the rest of tonight, so we can always like come find me. We can jam more about TikTok, right? SnapTik, this is a cool website. This lets you download a TikTok without the watermark. So that's a good website to use. SnapTik or Inflect, both free. So let's talk about 007 method. We're going to talk 2 strategies real quick. 007 method, this is what we use. We have every media buyer on our team, every creator that we work with do this every single week, multiple times a week. So basically, you're going to find out exactly what TikToks your target customer is engaging with that week in the app. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to open the app. Step 1, you're going to go to Discover. You're going to search for a relevant keyword that your target customer for your client or for your business is going to be searching. So let's say you're operating in the self-care market. I'm going to search self-care tips. Then what I'm going to do is at the top right, there's a little filter icon. I'm going to filter by last 7 days, so this week, and then sort by most liked. Now TikTok's going to show me, here are the most liked videos on the platform that are for self-care tips that are in the last 7 days, so hyper relevant. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch them. I'm going to go through each one. I'm going to be a crazy note taker. I'm going to see, how do they open? What was the first sentence? What was the hook? What text overlay they use? How long was the video? I'm going to look at I'm a data nerd. I write everything down. I have a database on databases on databases, right? So I'm storing everything. How do they end? What was the call to action, right? What was the topic of the video? Then I'm going to look through and find commonalities, right? Okay, I did these 40 videos. They all opened with this phrase. They all said this word, and they all featured an 18-year-old girl. They all featured a shot in somebody's bedroom. They all featured a shot on the beach. They all opened here. I'm gonna think about using that, right? Then you go a step deeper, you look at who are the top people. So you have the profiles. So you click through the profiles there. So this girl's profile, click in. And a lot of users, they post about themes. Like that's what they do. They're a self-care person. They're a beauty person. They're a fitness person. So a lot of their TikToks are gonna be about that. I'm gonna scroll through the profile. TikTok's interesting because it's most videos you post on the platform organically get a baseline amount of views. So like this account, most of her views, 40, 50,000 views. And then every now and then, something just hits. Every like 8, 10, 12 videos, something hits. So you'll see, hey, some of these videos have 100,000 views, 200,000 views, 500,000 views. I'm gonna look at all those, right? What videos doubled, tripled the average baseline? And then what was she doing in those videos? What made them pop, right? And look for commonalities. So again, like here I might see that video, again, it's hard to see on here, but there's no mouse here or little red dot. The second row down on the right, it says backpack. So it was a video showing her self-care kit for traveling in a backpack. It's a cool concept. What if I just did that for my self-care brand and here's the must-have self-care kit for digital nomads. And my product was featured in there, right? I know this is a content type that works on the platform. TikTok's telling me. And so a lot of this stuff too is like, it's not rocket science. A lot of this just has to do with like doing research and understanding what users are doing, what users are watching, what users are creating. And we store all this stuff. So we use Google Sheets a lot, but I started using Notion a lot lately. So this is like a Notion workspace. So we have a trends database. We basically have databases where we're storing, here's all the trends. We have databases where every time I see or somebody on my team sees an opening hook, an opening text overlay template, we store all of that stuff. Creators will share really good content, creators will share trends. So we have it all stored so we can reference it in the future when we're creating stuff. And then our creative team looks at this every week. Cool, there's been 20 new trends added. Let's test them out. Here's 20 new opening hook templates. Let's test them out. Here's 20 new text overlay templates. Let's test them out. All right, let's wrap here because I know we only have a few minutes left. I have a lot more stuff to cover. I manage my time terribly on this presentation, by the way. This is like, I'm usually pretty good about time management when it comes to presentations. This was an abysmal failure for me in terms of time management. To be fair, this is a new presentation. I've only done it one other time, and I extended it. So I'll give myself a pat on the back there. So Ford method, this is a strategy for how we rapidly test creative and how we do it without putting a massive amount of time into creative. Because again, I talked about like time, right? How much creative lasts on the platform and how do you create that much shit, right? $100,000 a day, like how do you do that? People think, shit, like I need to create 50 original videos a week, 100 original videos a week. I can't do that. I'm a one-man show, I'm a one-woman show, right? You don't need to do that. So what we do is we look at a modular approach. So every week we're looking at how can we templatize this? How can we look at elements that make it creative? So there's the openings, there's the core ad, there's the text overlay, there's all these pieces of an ad. So let's shoot each week, for example, the Ford method here, I believe a 4x4 template. So we'll shoot 4 unique ads. We'll shoot a green screen, we'll shoot a one person playing 2 characters. You guys might have seen that where it's somebody playing 2 roles, talking back and forth. We'll do a unboxing, we'll do a reaction video. Okay, so we got 4 core ads. Then what we'll do is we'll come up with 4 opening hooks, 4 one-sentences, one-liners. Shoot all of them. Now we have each one of those core angles has 4 openers. So now we have 16 total videos that week to test. That's the way we're approaching things. That's how we're able to rapidly create stuff without putting a ton of time in. And then when we find something that works, we iterate on it. This angle really worked. Let's dissect it. Let's make some tweaks here or there. Let's add different headlines on it. Let's different text overlay, different opener, different closer. All these pieces can be changed. Now we've taken one piece of creative, we've turned it into 10, 20, 30 pieces of creative. And this sheet just helps us keep it organized. Like we just put everything in here in terms of like, those are the video ideas, then the headline ideas, then there's all the total 16 below it. And just like one final kind of illustration at this point. I shot a video for Russell, so for ClickFunnels, for this funnel cookbook. And because it was modular, because it was multiple pieces, I realized the end of this video actually could make a really good opening. So like, why don't I just test it as an opener? And it ended up being a better video, and now I had 2 creatives from one shoot, right? Just because it was a short video, 15 seconds. So like so it opens with me, there's no audio here, I don't think it's plugged in, but so it opens with me talking to the camera, then it cuts to me pointing to the book, pointing to the funnel, pointing to an award, right? 15 seconds, 2 parts to a video. This opens with the book part of it, so the second part opens with, and then it closes with me talking about the book. I didn't reshoot the video, I shot one thing, but in multiple clips, and now I was able to rearrange it and get multiple creatives out of it that lasted longer, and one actually beat the control. And then this is the final thing. Again, you can test lots of new text angles. So during Q4, some gadget offers we were running did really well. This one on the left, nothing could beat this video. We threw so much stuff at the wall, nothing could beat it. So we were like, why are we trying to beat this? Why don't we just try to iterate on this and make it better? So we then tried like 20 different, text overlay ideas. So the one angle was things you didn't know you needed off Amazon. So we did all kinds of things. Christmas gift ideas, part 23. Must have Christmas gift ideas for your DIY dad in your life. Like all these variations. Now we had like 15, 20 versions of this video, and we found quite a few that beat this because they hit on a specific audience segment and it resonated with kind of broad ad group we're testing. And now we're able to run that for another 7 days, another 14 days. So it's really this iterative approach to creative that allows you to pump out a lot of volume and stay, kind of hyper competitive on the platform and avoid that fatigue without having to invest massive amount of resources into to creative generation. And then so Bill, I know we're at time here. So there's probably I don't know how many more slides. Probably like 5 or so more slides. So we can talk about that after the fact. If you guys, during happy hour or whatever, just come hang out with me. I can do pull up some chairs, we'll grab some drinks, we'll talk about some creative testing frameworks and all that fun stuff. There's some templates in here, different ad angles that we're using, different styles we're using that we can talk about. But I appreciate you guys bearing with me again. I tried to speak as fast as I could without just going like you guys couldn't understand anything I said. But appreciate you bearing with me. And if there are any questions, I don't know if we have time for questions, Bo, but if not, you can ask me after the fact as well.
We got time for one, maybe 2.
One. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to be the one question? It's got to be a good one.
2.
I'm just kidding. No, of course. Yeah.
So we're getting pretty good clicks off TikTok. So
Yeah, so how much have you spent, how long have you been running on the platform?
I mean, probably maybe 10,000 for a couple of different businesses. Neither have really produced many calls, and if we have gotten calls, they have been very good quality.
And have you run for like a month, 3 months, 6 months?
Probably about 4 to 5 months now.
Okay, and only $10,000 in spend across multiple accounts?
I'm not the media buyer,
Okay.
so it could be more.
No, so the reason I'm saying that is not I'm not trying to be like a dick. You only spent 10. But it's more so like so TikTok requires much more at this point of where the platform is. It's not where Facebook is. Facebook's got a decade head start, way more data, way more signals, right? TikTok's way less mature in terms of how much signal data it has, how much data it's collecting. It's going to take more time and more spend and more conversion being passed back to get optimized. That's just a fact for everybody here. That's the reality of the game. The days of like, and this occasionally have an account where it's like first week it crushes because it's a hot product. But most accounts for us, it's taking 2 to 3 times as long as it would on Facebook to like really get things humming along. A specific answer would be what we're seeing actually a lot of consulting clients and some agency clients see success with high ticket. The model they're running is kind of a straight to the camera, the main influencer, face of the brand, really catchy video. And I can maybe, if you want to talk offline, I can look at your creative and give you some feedback on that because that's probably the missing link. Going to kind of a Sam Ovens style, VSL, 3 things you're going to learn, opt in, short video, book a call. They have really good setters, really good salespeople closing.
Okay.
We have,
People are
yeah.
winning on a VSL strategy.
Yeah, we have at least 4. We have 2 consulting clients and two agencies clients, and then people in our insiders program that are doing very well selling 8 to 15K products. I know Tony, we're talking to Tony Robbins' team. I know they just got on the platform. They're seeing like first month out of the gate, they're seeing a lot of success running the same framework. So it's 100% doable. It's 100% working for quite a few people. There's probably there's probably a few things that are just missing in that flow from the creative standpoint, from what the offer, what the funnel is, and then also just being patient with the data collection and optimization. Yeah. And I made sure to make that as long an answer as possible so you can get a second question in. Yeah. Was there a second one? I can do real fast. I promise.
Do you have a ratio to like source UGC content to variations of ads that you're making from them? So like for every 10 UGC.
How many variations we can make out of a piece of UGC?
Yeah, like do you have a ratio that you kind of follow?
Not necessarily a fixed ratio because it depends on if something works, we can create a lot of variations of it. So like at a minimum, what we'll try to do is like 4 of each of those things. So like 4 openers, 4 text overlays. Those are kind of the 2 big levers we talked about. So if you have one really piece of creative, that would then have 4 openers, 4 text overlays. You could essentially have kind of 16 total pieces of creative out of that. Yeah. Yep.
Sweet.